Welcome to the 4 Mile Circus. 4 Mile Circus is a podcast by 4 Mile Circus, a full cycle media services company in Brooklyn, New York. My name is Sean Mannion, and I have a co-host who's just busy drinking.
I'm drinking natural berry-flavored La Croix seltzer that Sean has kindly provided to me. It's making me very happy. That's my main role in life now.
La Croix?
La Croix. Or any seltzer. I'm not one of these like La Croix fangirls. I really don't care. Any good seltzer is good with me.
I mean,
My name's Nicole.
Your name's Nicole.
My name's Nicole.
Your name is now La Croix.
My name is Nicole La Croix. I don't know what kind of accent that is. It doesn't really sound French at all. Sounds like there's something very wrong with me. So it's fair.
Accurate.
Fair.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah. And we have somebody with us today, don't we? Besides the two of us.
Do we? Do we really?
I mean,
I think we may.
I think we may. I think that person may be Jeanette Sears.
Jeanette Sears.
Yes, I am here.
Jeanette.
And what are you doing here?
I am drinking La Croix. And,
La Croix.
you know, it's a quality production when you have La Croix and not some other off-brand seltzer. So this is
Not
good.
some other bullshit.
Yeah.
This episode of the podcast not technically brought to you by La Croix, but we're open to it.
Yeah, La Croix, if you would like to be bringing this podcast to people, we can say a lot more nice things about your seltzer beverages that all three of us are enjoying right now, and it's so refreshing on this hot summer day.
It's true, and we just obviously like saying La Croix.
But can I say some things about Jeanette Sears? That's another thing that I like to say.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Please do.
Well, Jeanette Sears is a talented cinematographer who has served as DP on many of our short films. Sean, did you know?
I forget people who work for me because they're below me.
Well, okay. Well, to refresh your memory, Jeanette has shot films of ours such as Beneath the Black Moon,
Beneath the Black Moon.
Mare,
Yeah, yeah. I star in Mare.
and Small Talk.
And Small.
That was a while
Talk.
ago. Yeah, that was a little while ago.
Small Talk.
Yeah, you weren't on
What
that
is-
shoot, Sean. But
That was pre-Sean.
I didn't know you then. We didn't know you.
And look how I've enriched your lives with La Croix.
It's true. And Jeanette has also been the DP on music videos that we've done for the Shondas and some other projects. And they also write and direct their own stuff, like the award-winning romantic comedy Happenstance and the historical drama currently titled Sanctuary, which we just wrapped principal photography on. And we're going to talk to Jeanette about all of this and more. But first, we like to start out by chatting about social media a little bit. That's what we do here. We're social.
All right.
You have to go through the hard parts first.
So, like, a question we usually ask guests often first, like we're doing with you now, is what are your favorite and least favorite social media platforms and why?
I enjoy Facebook. I'm not wonderful at Facebooking and putting myself out there, but I very much enjoy being on Facebook. And
Can I ask you why? Because I fucking hate being on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is a cesspool of hate.
So why do you like it, though? Because Jeanette feels differently. Difference is okay. We don't throw them out the window just because people don't.
No, but give us time. We'll make you.
recently, Facebook is a cesspool of hate. But there are some good things that come up on Facebook. I am a little bit of a Facebook stalker, I guess, or like I tend to see things on my news feed but not interact totally with them. But it's where I get a lot of my news actually is from the things I see there. So, yeah.
Ain't that the case for most of us? And look where that's gotten us all.
This is very true.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I can't. Yeah.
I was gonna say. Yeah.
Not that it's not, not that it can't be useful. Like, I am interested in reading articles that trusted friends and colleagues are recommending. That's important. I prefer to do it on Twitter than Facebook. That's me. I know you feel differently, Jeanette. You don't like Twitter as much as I do.
I hope that I have sort of not weeded out some of the more negative influences that I've seen on Facebook that I personally have. So it's a little more, I do trust the things that people on my Facebook feed post usually, which is good. And I don't know, I feel like you get more information or more information per post via Facebook than say Twitter, which for some reason I cannot get a handle on Twitter. I've never been able to. I feel like Twitter, you have to be more active and post more yourself as opposed to Facebook, where you can read more.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook posts can be much longer, for sure. And did you know, for example, though, that it's good if you trust your sources, but how much of what they post do you even see is a big question on Facebook. And also, did you know that Facebook has the capacity to take photos of you on your smartphone while you're looking at it and run a program that gauges what expression you're making to see how you feel about what you're reading to decide what kinds of content to show you on your feed. That was a story I read in the past week.
To me. I only look at Facebook on my phone on the web app.
Also,
Safari.
Sean shows no expression ever.
This is also true.
They're like, well, he's alive, I think.
He's just sort of staring forward.
This is like my new plan, though, is when I'm on Facebook, I just feel like I need to make a face all the time.
Could you just wear like a blindfold and see how it changes?
I could also just cover my camera, except it's hard to do that on
I guess
your
that's
phone.
easier than covering your face.
But not on your phone is the problem.
You hold it like that the whole time.
Yeah, it's
Put your
really
finger over
Just
it.
you just
natural.
hold it from the top.
It's natural.
That's how I always
over
hold
it.
my phone.
Yeah, you just like, oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for that tip, Sean. I
Yeah,
guess we all
that's a
learned
tip.
something
Hold your
today.
phone from the top so nobody can spy on you with your own camera.
So what's your least favorite platform since you like evil Facebook so much? The wrong choice.
Unfortunately, I would have to say Twitter.
Boo!
Yeah.
I mean, Twitter's fucking terrible, too, though. Who am I kidding? It's all terrible. Except Instagram. I'm pretty all right with Instagram.
Okay, but my preference for Twitter is I don't have to see people's comments on tweets or responses to it. On Facebook, I have no choice because I'm just scrolling through the feed, and then I don't have a problem with anybody who's my friend. But there's a lot of people who are friends of my friends that need a punch in the mouth.
Fuck those
Very
people.
true. But, sometimes I need a, scroll, I need to be able to scroll through comments and not actually interact with them, but just,
See what's out there?
yeah, and,
Well, you are a nicer person than I am.
yeah, that's not very difficult.
No, it's really not. It's a low bar. It's a low bar, but you cleared it. It's a low bar, but you cleared it.
It's getting contentious up in here. Whew.
How is it getting contentious? We agreed.
I'm so tired, Sean. I'm so tired. Stop
We'll continue
being mean to
leading
me.
this interview then.
Yeah, I'm doing a great job. I'm keeping us right on track. So what do you hate about Twitter?
Like I said, I feel like you have to be more active on Twitter. At least it feels that way. And I think when I first started on Twitter, it was still in the stage of I just went to the bathroom and I'm watching this commercial on TV, and it was every 5 seconds. It was the people who would post every 5 seconds on Facebook, then moved to Twitter. And I don't think I ever got past that.
You were following the wrong people on Twitter.
This is probably also true.
Because some people have mastered the form, and as things have developed and Twitter has kind of developed its own codes and ways of extending tweets, with functionality maybe that has developed since maybe you first started on it. It's easier to thread tweets so that you can have a series of tweets that form one longer thing, and a lot of people, I think, do good work with that format and break it up into little bites in a way that aesthetically works, and it's just a different kind of writing.
And now you can share what a long thing somebody has had to say with the quote tweet and just say thread and have the finger that points down, as opposed to, sharing any actual thoughts of your own.
Yes. So you could
I say
go,
this as somebody who does that plenty.
Oh, I do this as well. But so if you're following the right people, you can go and not tweet much, and there's actual worthwhile content to read. The main thing is find people who are funny and informative.
This is true.
And because it's easier to follow people and get more content from people you don't know on Twitter than on Facebook, because following someone's professional Facebook page isn't even if they're posting to it all the time, which they're probably not these days, it's not going to show up in your newsfeed very often. But if you follow them on Twitter, it will. Right. So it's like Twitter is better than Facebook for following people you don't actually know, but you wish you did.
Yeah, I have enjoyed when I do get on Twitter, like for live tweeting of different events and things like that. Is a couple times that I've found it most useful because obviously on Facebook, your news feed just like sort of comes up. I don't even know what the algorithm is now for what you see. No one knows. That's
It's a deal that's getting worse all the time.
But yeah, seeing a live tweet stream, I think is a very helpful thing.
Yeah, I'll follow news on Twitter. Like when the healthcare bill was being voted on last week, like I wasn't watching C-SPAN, I was watching Twitter, and it was better because I was finding out what was happening through my like curated selection of people I follow. So it's also like it's funnier because people are making jokes that are making it possible for me to keep following it and not just have a panic attack and like go curl up in a corner or whatever. And like people are responding as it's happening. So like as votes were coming in, like I knew virtually as fast as I would have known if I was watching C-SPAN when McCain's vote came in. Like everybody was talking about it. Plus I was getting everybody's like body language analysis, which was very amusing. About like, oh, I think they're going to actually vote no because like they exchanged secret hand signs. And then people were making jokes about ridiculous things that were happening on the floor. And it was very funny. But in any event,
I follow a lot of comic book people, which is fun. There was a big thing about, this is relevant sort of on the other side of things if you don't want to be like on top of like that major thing. There was something interesting that happened with one of the editors at Marvel Comics, which is here in New York, went out with some of their coworkers and they got some milkshakes and they took a picture. And then they got tons of harassment for it. And then like a lot of like comics Twitter just rallied behind them and they started a hashtag, Make Mine Milkshake, because one of the classic Marvel catchphrase things is Make Mine Marvel, so Make Mine Milkshake. People taking photos of themselves with milkshakes and sharing it with them, and like solidarity happening because some people were dicks.
The solidarity part's lovely, but we have to understand that it also was Twitter that enabled those people to harass that poor woman in the first place.
It's true. But everybody kind of like it's nice to see that it's not always that way.
Oh, totally.
And that people can like rally with each other and stuff like that. So
be nice if they didn't, open their platform up to Nazis and things who like to do, racist harassment of people. I've been seeing a lot of that recently.
Hate free speech.
Yes, I hate free speech.
That's
why whenever there's actual bills that actually involve governmental censorship coming through, why I stand up against them. Well, most of Twitter that likes to fight about free speech doesn't know what's going on, and if you point it out to them, we'll be like, yeah, but those people are traitors, so who cares?
Yeah.
That's my understanding of how free speech works on the internet.
The way free speech works on the internet is some white guy wants to be able to say something without being criticized.
Yeah.
And then he whines about that people are criticizing.
Yeah, and if you're like,
I know this because I'm a white guy, so.
Yeah, no, it takes one to know one.
Yeah.
Although, you know what the funny thing is? You don't actually have to be a white guy to know that because everybody needs to understand how white guys think because otherwise you can't navigate the world.
How else are you supposed to understand anything? Anyway, let's talk about your Twitter.
Moving on. Do you have anything else to say about Twitter? We can move on to other topics rather than like weirdly trying to berate you into agreeing that Twitter is better than Facebook, which we have arbitrarily decided.
It won't happen. I've tried. I've definitely tried to be better at Twitter.
Have you tried scheduling tweets?
Yes, I have, actually. Not my personal tweets, but for
Have you tried? So you have not tried on your personal. Maybe you should try that.
I do it for my personal one.
Yeah, I do sometimes. Yeah.
Do you see my movie ideas occasionally on Twitter?
I'm never on Twitter.
Well, then you're missing out my fabulous movie ideas.
Yeah, there's some weird ones.
What are you talking about? It usually involves like a dinosaur and a remote island falling in love with like a chimpanzee.
Sean, you're personally going to get me to fall in love with Twitter, just from what you just said.
You know what? Ask Jessica. Yeska, however I'm supposed to pronounce it. I don't remember. Because I've been told it both ways. She loves my movie ideas.
She's good on Twitter.
Yeah. That's good.
We should really just have had Jessica on.
Yeah, I know. What are we doing talking to Jeanette?
Why are we talking to you? You like Facebook too much.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, what else did you want to talk about?
I'm going to leave now.
Well, before you leave, can you tell us about Sanctuary, what it's about, and why that story called out to you?
No, because Jessica shot it, and you can just talk to her about it. So,
All right, done and done. Thank you for being on the show, Jeanette. You can give us the remainder of your La Croix.
no, I'm taking it with
Oh,
me.
no.
We need the deposit from that
I'm
can.
chugging it.
Yeah. Well, then you're going to miss the game.
Yeah, and Sean prepared it special for you.
I literally did both the games that we're going to play tonight are specially made just for you.
He
What do
wouldn't
you
even
want
tell
from
me what
me?
they are.
Just
Answer the
continue
goddamn question.
Listen,
Twitter is better, and I'm
No,
terrible.
we're on. We've moved on. We've moved on. I'm
do we-
asking about
Sanctuary.
what it's about. Why that story called out to you.
So Sanctuary is the most recent film that I co-directed with Nicole.
Aw.
Nicole who? Do I know this person?
Nicole Solomon.
Nicole Eggert? What?
Oh, Nicole Lacroix.
Nicole Lacroix. Oh, right here in the room. Team effort.
So it's the short film that we co-directed, and I actually took a shot at acting in, which is a first-time experience for me.
It's so easy.
You acted in that other short that years ago.
Yes, I did in
don't
an
lie.
unfinished short that we shot in a van from New Mexico to New York.
There was a road trip, and they were like, hey, what would make this road trip more efficient? Let's turn it into a short narrative film.
I think about that sometimes. I'm like, I want to go on a road trip, but I also want to make a movie.
We can do it.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
Actually, we could
So tell us more about Sanctuary. Yes,
Yeah.
we could.
Borrow the Sean's van?
We'll discuss.
I'm in.
Okay.
But, yeah. So Sanctuary is it's a period piece set in the 1960s, and it's about a butch femme lesbian couple who comes home after a bar raid, and the butch character that I play is roughed up from the police, and it's really just about their dynamic together and how they sort of take care of each other and how they cope with a thing that has happened to them before, and is probably not the last time, and sort of their interaction and sort of the grind that they've been through before and how they react to that.
And what made you, obviously this is a big question, so take whichever angle on it you want, but what made you want to tell that story now?
Well, the short is really sort of inspired by Stone Butch Blues by Leslie Feinberg, and it's a book that has really inspired me personally, and is probably my favorite book. And it revolves around a character much like the one in Sanctuary, and I've always wanted to show those characters that they existed, because you don't see them anywhere, obviously, in mainstream media, or even in not so mainstream media, and just sort of bring to life those characters and I don't know, to let them sort of come alive outside of the book.
Yeah, and just to say, Jeanette said that I co-directed this, but Jeanette came to me with a complete script and was originally gonna just direct it, and I was just gonna help in other ways. But then when they wanted to act in it, that's when I kind of came on to help direct. So because that's a lot of things you were doing at once. And relatedly, I wanted to ask about. So you're a DP. How was it entrusting this project that's obviously very personal to you, and it was very apparent from the first time we talked about it that you had a very clear and almost fully formed vision of what it should look like. How is it entrusting that to somebody else to shoot instead of just shooting it yourself?
Yeah, so with both this film and my other film, Happenstance, it's been Jessica, who we've mentioned already, who's you want here more than me, obviously. But I know her style. I know how good she is, both all around. She's an amazing DP, an amazing gaffer, and I feel like we know each other, and she's very good at seeing a vision that someone wants, and there's just a level of trust there. And on set, it's still extremely difficult every single time to not want to touch the camera when I see a problem happening with it, to not want to jump in and just like help get it fixed. But, you know, having her know the material and just knowing her and trusting her really makes it an easier thing to do to let go of that.
That makes sense. And how is it working with a co-director? Because you'd never done that before, right?
No, I haven't.
I hadn't either, actually. I never co-directed anything before.
It was really nice to have you because, you know, we worked on so many projects together as director DP that I know that we have really good communication and that you get the things that I'm trying to do. And, you know, you helped me in writing Happenstance as well. So I don't know. It's that level of trust that I have. And I just knew that, you know, you were there for all the, like, for the rehearsal and for everything there. And just, like, you know, you knew what I wanted to do with it and were there to help the day of. And it was really great.
That's what we hear now, but then when I leave the room, it's going to be a whole other story.
Yeah, well, you know.
I ruined the movie.
Single-handedly.
I helped ruin the movie. Yeah, Sean was there too. Sean was ADing.
I didn't know Sean was there.
That's a good AD right there. The
True.
talent doesn't know. Talent's just like, was there somebody there?
Everything's just happening somehow.
Yeah.
Why are things happening?
Why are we ahead of schedule? We weren't ahead of schedule.
We were not ahead of schedule.
No, we weren't.
It's not entirely my fault, though.
It's not.
It was entirely my fault.
You know, I had like 3 hours of sleep and then I drove 4 hours upstate the next day. So, you know, it's fine, Sean. It's fine.
I'm not the one who scheduled it for that weekend. Nobody asked me when to do the shoot. I would have told you not to do that.
Yeah, that was actually I was also going upstate to a different part of upstate, and that was a morning.
Yeah,
it was a morning. Yeah. So what are your plans for Sanctuary?
We have a cut of it. Hoping to get it the rest of the way through post-production, obviously. And then I'd like to do a better job than I did for Happenstance, and submit it to a lot more festivals and do a lot more of the organizational things around it to promote it better on social media, which means I have to post things, as we talked about before.
If only you had friends who, you know, do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I know, right? That's like a thing, you know, somebody who like maybe knows the story and help co-direct it and all that stuff.
Yeah, and could consult with you about social media strategy, like for your specific project.
Oh, I know who could help with that. You know, Miles. Miles, he took our crowdfunding workshop. We talked a little bit about social media. He could probably help you with that.
Yeah, and he was on the shoot too.
Yeah, Miles was.
So he has an insider
you know.
view. Yeah.
He left early.
Truth comes out.
He did.
Miles is wonderful.
Miles is pretty great.
I want Miles on every shoot.
Me too.
He brought those lights on About a Donkey, and I still get happy every time I think about it. There's a day on a different shoot where Miles brought some lights, and that made me happy.
Miles also brought lights to Sanctuary, which was helpful because we needed lights. So thank you, Miles.
You always need lights for the
hire
the shooting.
Miles. What is his name? Last
Miles
name?
Tyre Vassal. Sometimes he's just credited as Miles Austin.
Yes, that's why I get confused.
He was DP for Lisa Hammer and Levi Wilson's web series that I produced that I'm spacing the name of, Maybe Sunshine.
He also was the DP
for Rubber Ducky, the upcoming epic short film by me.
I'm very excited to see it.
So
yeah, about a rubber ducky.
And I like it. I saw a rough cut of that, and it looked good.
Yeah, there's a whole animated sequence that needs to be done. Anyway,
so you're gonna do festival circuit is the plan.
Yeah.
And relatedly, you mentioned something. Happenstance a bunch.
Happenstance.
That word came up more times than it usually does in a conversation.
Yeah, you know.
Can you tell us about that? Oh, look at the squirrel. Sorry. Listeners at home can't see the squirrel.
There's a squirrel.
Giant fuck off squirrel.
Oh, he's scratching.
With a really long tail right outside the window.
He lives somewhere, like, I think he lives in,
Squirrel's gone. Okay, back to happenstance.
Bye, squirrel.
You know where the squirrel lives.
up in the, like, gutter.
Ah.
It's the 4 Mile Squirkus.
Welcome to the 4 Mile Squirkus.
Squirrel. Good chipmunk.
That's a podcast I'd subscribe to and leave a 5-star review for.
So what was the question about happenstance? So what is happenstance? Where does it come from? And who do we have to fight over it?
Fighting over it. Well, you can go ahead and fight yourself. Because why not?
Well, I could, because I AD'd that one too.
Happenstance is a film that I directed almost 2.5 years ago. Almost
I think it's
2 years
two.
ago.
Time has no meaning.
It was 2 years ago. It was my first film that I did outside of school, and it had a lot of the sort of the same crew as Sanctuary. It's a little short film. It's a little romantic comedy about two women who meet trying to haul a box fan over the Williamsburg Bridge. It's sort of a meet cute, and I don't know. It's a nice reflection of, you know, life in New York and trying to get things around, and the people that you meet along the way.
Yeah, it's the cutest thing I've ever worked on that I like.
Thank you, Nicole.
Well, as Jeanette mentioned earlier, I worked on that screenplay also. I have a credit. I helped. And like, it's just such a sweet, nice, it's a romantic comedy about two nice people who meet, and that's not the kind of story I'm ever drawn to write. But Jeanette was like, hey, I have the script. Will you look at it? And I said, yes. I'm like, this is good. You want me to write some dialogue? Jeanette was like, yeah. And I'm like, great. I'll write a terrible, hateful character. That was my entry point.
You did.
Oh, right. The one who hates bicycles. Because, you know, bicycles are...
The bike lobby.
The bike lobby.
It doesn't want you to know that bicycles actually contribute more to pollution.
Yeah, it's worse for...
Because bikers release CO2.
That was based on a real thing that I don't remember his name, but like the mayor of something. No, I did, because when I...
Twitter. Like a Facebook thing.
Because I was like, Jeanette, what do you want? And Jeanette was like, oh, I think, because the opening scene is this date, and the date's supposed to be going badly, and I don't want to spoil the whole movie because you should watch it because it's up on Vimeo. We'll link it in the show notes. And yeah, so watch that. But so Jeanette was like, the date's going bad. I think it's, it's got to be something about like biking, because biking is important to the main character, and it needs to be that this blind date like is like not into it in some way. So I'm like, all right. And so I started Googling like problems people have with cyclists, because I wanted it to be something realistic, but not something just generic about like, oh, they're always almost running into me or whatever, because that's just so general. So I'm like, what's a weirdo issue? And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fucking weird that somebody would be like really self-righteous about how like actually, it's like she's a but actually kind of character, but about this crackpot theory that is not true. Cyclists don't actually contribute to global warming more than cars.
I feel like they might like fart more, and that like how cows contribute a lot to global warming because of that. It's the methane gas. Cyclists, more gas. Yep.
But
Good
Makes
job.
sense.
Good job, Sean.
the math works out.
Yep.
Really
Yep.
perfectly.
That's the math.
He did it right now. He did the math.
That was
Just a second.
yeah. I
Right in
mean,
my head.
we do call him Sean Mathman for. I don't know what's with the terrible puns today. I don't know what's happening.
I'm okay with it.
But that does bring up an important question. Do you want to play a game?
Yes.
Can I ask Jeanette one more question real quick?
Okay.
What's next for you in terms of writing, directing? Do you have anything else?
I actually...
Answer fast.
Documentary. I really want to work on a documentary project because I haven't done a documentary in a while, and I've never really directed a documentary. And I want to explore, I don't know, like, surprisingly, I hate titling things, but the first thing that I have for this is sort of the title, and it's like between the binary and exploring what it's like to live between the gender binary.
I think that's a good title.
Yeah.
That is a good title.
I would like to talk to you more about this documentary, Jeanette.
Because I haven't talked to you about it
No,
at all.
you haven't. I'm like, this is exciting.
Yes.
I want to be involved in this. Drink seltzer around the periphery of the shooting. That's my role now. But anyway, we're going to talk to Jeanette a lot more soon about other things. But Sean has something he's, on about.
I want to play a game.
Are you in the games? Always with the games.
You like the games.
Obviously, I like the games.
Are you guys ready for this game?
Do you have prizes for this one?
We got stickers.
How about more La Croix? Because I just finished mine.
Okay, you're gonna
Well,
win.
if you win, you're gonna have to.
If you win, you got to
play.
get all 3 questions correct.
Oh no.
So for those who may be joining us for the first time because they're excited to hear this interview with Jeanette Sears, every episode we play a game. It's usually a trivia game, and it's usually unfair and maybe overly specific. But I try to craft it for the person who's on, and so today we're gonna start with Nothing's Gonna Stop Us trivia. Trivia about the Jefferson. Oh, sorry, not Jefferson. For the Starship classic song, "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us." Now from 1987.
What movie was that from, though?
Mannequin.
And who did that star?
Andrew McCarthy and Kim Cattrall.
Just keep turning the game around on him.
Oh, you're.
Well, mine's multiple
That's
choice.
tricky.
So, all right. So, what was the original name of the '60s band that Starship is a descendant of? So we're starting easy. Starting easy. Was it A, Knee Deep in the Hoopla? B, Washington Glider? C, Jefferson Airplane? Or D, Electric Acid? Now remember, I'm asking for the original name of the band. Bands change their names a lot,
Especially this one.
early on.
Mouse rat.
Yes, Mouse Rat.
Yes.
So again, the options were A, Knee Deep in the Hoopla, B, Washington Glider, C, Jefferson Airplane, or D, Electric Acid.
So angry right now.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm gonna guess C because when you were introducing the artist of the song, you accidentally said Jefferson, but you might have just been looking down at your phone. But
Well, it's because right before they were Starship, they were Jefferson Starship, and sometimes people confuse that Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now is by Jefferson Starship.
I'm gonna pick C also, Sean.
Because Jefferson Airplane? Correct, it is Jefferson Airplane. I was trying to. I crafted this question specifically because I assumed they didn't start with Jefferson Airplane. Seems like the second name that you would have when you get famous,
start
but
with
no,
Washington
they started
and
with
then
Jefferson Airplane.
Jefferson.
Like that was actually kind of surprised by that. A lot of them usually have a different name to begin with. So, anyway,
We're on track for that LaCroix.
yeah, we are.
Let's keep
All
it
right,
going.
that's
Stay
one
on target.
for three. 1 for 3 so far. All right, so Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now was nominated for what award? Grammy for Best Song, Academy Award for Best Original Song, Participation, or In Memoriam.
That shit was nominated for the Oscar for Best Song, but it lost to what did it lose to? 1987.
Something much more forgettable, apparently.
I'm not sure, but it was definitely not. It may have been nominated for a Grammy too. It was definitely nominated for Best Original Song.
For Academy.
Because that's why it's Academy Award nominee Mannequin. It's a funny film trivia fact.
Well, so what do you think?
I agree.
You agree? All right. So it was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Song. So
But now I want to know what it lost to.
Nicole will look it up. Well, we get to something a little bit more specific that the audience at home may not be able to answer.
Because they could definitely answer the first two.
Probably, actually, they probably could. But they probably won't know what city were we in when I made you guys listen to me sing this song on the way to the airport at an ungodly hour of morning. So I think it was like 4 a.m.
I think it was Nashville. Oh, multiple choice.
It is. It is. But
Well, that's not
could
going
it
to
be
help.
Austin,
No.
Savannah, Nashville, or Seattle?
It wasn't Seattle. So it was either Nashville or Savannah. And I'm scared.
Was it A, Austin, B, Savannah, C, Nashville, and D, Seattle? It's also important to remember that this is one of those questions that's based almost more on what you think I remember it was, more than what it actually is, because I might not remember correctly.
I think it was Savannah because that was when I was still scheduling flights at ungodly hours.
I'm gonna guess Nashville, and then whichever one of us wins, we can.
Or was it Nashville?
We can practice mutual aid, and we can share the lip gloss.
All right, so Nicole says Nashville, and Jeanette says Savannah. And the answer that I remember
We need music, suspenseful music.
Play the song.
is Nashville.
Yes. Oh, who's the best at Nothing's Gonna Stop Us?
Were we
trivia?
hungover?
Is that a
Was it the
question?
last
Was
day
it
of the
Nashville?
job?
Were we at Whiskey Kitchen the night before?
Actually, I think it.
Whiskey
well,
Kitchen.
'cause
If
I
you're ever
remember
in
it was there.
Nashville,
It was-
visit Whiskey Kitchen and get a whiskey flight.
Now,
Go on.
We were just talking about those whiskey flights, but 48 hours ago.
It's true. It's true. And also, the reason that I remember it being Nashville is because of who was there. Mm-hmm. It was the three of us and Christina. Christina Rea, former two-time guest,
Yes.
Friend of the show.
friend of the show.
You better pull up. I feel like we should be playing some music, but here we go.
That's what post-production is for.
It did not lose to a more forgettable song, and
did
I'm
it lose
just
to?
embarrassed that I didn't immediately know this. It lost to "I've Had the Time of My Life" from Dirty Dancing.
What movie?
Dirty Dancing.
Is that the one with
Dirty
Paul
Dancing.
Rudd?
It has Patrick Swayze.
And there was some dancing.
And Jennifer Grey.
The guy who was
dirty.
the guy who
was
was
dirty.
married to Meg Ryan, and his brother is Randy.
Not Overboard. Wait,
No,
shit.
Kurt Russell. What?
Wasn't Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell were married?
Yeah, but I said Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan.
I'm so tired, everybody.
Well, while
I
you're
did not
tired,
sleep last night.
people can find us at 4 Mile Circus on Twitter. Also 4 Mile Circus on Instagram and 4 Mile Circus on Facebook. That's the number 4, followed by the word mile and the word circus.
We're also on YouTube, and we're at 4milescircus.com.
Yes, we are.
But where's
And
Jeanette?
I don't know. Where are you, Jeanette?
My website is searsphotovideo.com. And
Sears with an A.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's one in my first name as well. That's
Well,
not
because
in the website.
people might spell Sears with 2 E's.
Yeah. It's with an A. Just like the store.
Just like the store.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I said it. And I'm also on Facebook, but clearly from this conversation, not very active on Twitter.
You're on Snapchat.
I am on Snapchat. I love Snapchat. Snapchat's the best.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Snapchat was your
I
favorite.
didn't consider that.
And you're on Instagram too. You said Instagram.
And yeah.
You mentioned Stone Blues earlier, and I wanted to say for the listeners at home, I think there is a PDF of that
There
book
is.
available for free. I will link it in the show notes if you want to read that. I concur that it is a classic book that you should all read.
And before people go, they should also remember that our podcast here is available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, and SoundCloud. And they should really like it, share it,
Subscribe. Tell your friends.
tell their friends, maybe leave a review or two. Wouldn't that be great? Would you like to see them leave a review?
That
Reviews?
would be wonderful.
Jeanette wants a review specifically of this episode and their performance on Nothing's Gonna Stop Us trivia.
I think
Yes.
Jeanette would feel a lot better about bungling that last question if you would just leave a review with your impressions of how that game went.
Yeah, like where do you think that we actually had the thing? Because clearly our memories may not be entirely in sync. So that's where we're at. Again, it's 4 Mile Circus, pretty much everywhere you might want to try to find us, and you really should, because we're super fun, obviously. And goodbye.
Bye.
If you like what you heard, please subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, or your platform of choice.
Please visit us at 4milecircus.com to learn about our other projects and services, and be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at 4 Mile Circus.